All right, so finding your seat and just like float for a moment. Find yourself nice and floaty. Find that triangle beneath you. Good, and then let's bring our hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. And then letting your gaze go to the floor for a minute or just closing your eyes completely, whichever's most comfortable. Just settling in for a moment. Noticing the rise and the fall of your belly or your chest. With gratitude, we salute all the great yoga masters, past and present. With joy, we recognize the excellent wisdom teachings of yoga. And with vigor, we dedicate ourselves to self-transforming practice. So on this beautiful Wednesday morning, what do you personally need for self-transformation? Just bringing those thoughts into the mind and out of them form a positive sentence as if it were already happening. And then repeating that sentence to yourself 3 times. And then one single Om to open our practice together. Exhaling the breath out and an inhale to chant. Om. And then using an inhaled breath, letting our eyes flutter open. Good, and then interlacing the fingers and just pressing for a moment the hands out in front of you. And just let your, I'm going to mirror, let your left shoulder blade just come off the back as you reach a little bit over to the right. And then bend your right elbow and come over to the right all the way. Just bend that elbow and come over to the right. Try to keep your body solid, just working on the shoulders for a moment. Right, and then let's bring it back out in front. And then letting the left elbow, just left shoulder blades kind of slide off as you move over to the side. And then bend the right elbow and bring the arm. Yeah, nice. And then bring it back out in front again. Press and just really let the shoulder blades slide to the sides of the ribs. And then bring the shoulder blades up and back and down. And really press them down for a moment. Then let's release the hands and take them back behind us and interlace them there. Squeeze the knuckles to the floor. Let the shoulder blades kiss in the back. And then for just a moment, head moving up and down, nice and slowly. Don't let your head go, just where you can control it. And then let's release the arms to the side and overhead, all the way overhead. So initially, again, shoulder blades are going to come off the ribs and lift up. And then take one shoulder blade down and one arm down. Good, just let that arm rest on your leg for a moment. So just with the left arm, open it up. And then close it up. And then we're going to flip the palm toward the side. So from the shoulder, though, flip the palm. And then take that arm back around. So your thumb went from behind you to in front of you to behind you again. Okay? And then just lifting that arm up your back. Just see if you can have the forearm somewhere along the spine, at least the hand along the spine for a moment. Good. And then just release it back out. Let the arm flip again. Thumb is now behind you, palm facing the midline. Good. And then just resting that arm. And then let's go up with the left arm, just reaching up for a minute. Good. Let's open the arm completely. Out to the side. Good. And then bring the arm back up. And then we're going to flip the palm toward the outside as the thumb comes to the front, and then all the way around. Thumb now is to the back, and then bending that elbow and just seeing. You can use your other arm to help it for a second, just seeing if you can get the hand somewhere along the spine. Just working on that shoulder rotation. Good. And then let's release it out to the side. Come all the way back up. Good. Bringing the other arm up to meet it. And then bring the palms together and bend your elbows and hands into namaste. Good. And then elbow, we're going to move just for our forearms, and our hands are pointing down. Just reach down to the floor for a moment. And notice where your shoulder blades are. Just notice where they are. They're not in a very strong place. So lift your arms out, arms moving out, separate, and then put your shoulder blades back and down. Good. Now take your fingertips together and then move them down and use just the arms. Good. So just thinking about how your shoulder blades can be very safe on your back or somewhat compromised, right? Okay. Bring the palms to face, bring the fingertips to face me, and then reach out, reach them off the back again, and then put them back down and hands to the heart. Good. Just 2 more times. Let's reach out again. Let the shoulder blades move out, and then bring them back, hands into the heart. One last time. Reach them out. Keep your spine nice and tall, and then back. Good. Okay, so let's work for a moment with our legs. Just go into some nice big circles initially. Just moving the hip basket around the heads of the femurs. And then let's go in the opposite direction. Good. And then just lifting the legs up for a moment, lifting them up. Let's put them in front of you. Put the feet in front of you, right in front of you. Let your legs come out to the side for a moment. So not fully open, not quite a butterfly. I still have mine held, okay? So just playing with your hands, going to where it's almost relaxing, coming in and out just a few times, just waking up the hip joint. In and out a few times. Good. And then let's bring our left heel into our groin and our right leg back behind us for just a moment. Good. So sitting up nice and tall, and really press and sit up on your sit bones. And if you find that you're really leaning over to one side, I think the best remedy is taking your blanket and folding it, putting it underneath your left sit bone, and let your right sit bone hang in space. And then you kind of even out your pelvic basket. So for some people, flexible, you'll be there already. And for some of us, it's extra help. Keeps our hips even. Okay, pavrita. We're going to just twist a little bit over toward the left. And go ahead and take your chin back over your right shoulder. So your chin is over your right shoulder. Your torso is headed to the left. Good. Just breathing. Notice where there's tension in the body, where it's soft. Keep the belly engaged. You need the belly stable. Stabilize the back. Good. And then we're going to slowly bring our chin up a little bit and over our left shoulder. Just up a little bit and over. Good. And then release and bring yourself back into the center. Okay. We're going to remove the whatever we were sitting on for a minute. Put it over on the other side. And let's just swish our legs out to the other side. So right heel into the groin and the left leg in internal rotation. I'm going to take my blankie and put it right under my right sit bone. Now my left sit bone kind of evens out. My pelvic basket is even. And then pavrita, little twist over to the right side. And then bringing my chin back over my left shoulder. Twisting in the opposite direction, thoracic spine and cervical spine. Good. Breathing for a moment. Keep the belly engaged, pelvic floor is lifted. Just being nice and soft. One more breath. And then we're going to arc our chin up a little as we take it over our right shoulder, just arcing it up a little over the right shoulder, gazing as far to the right as is comfortable. And then when you're ready, we're going to release the twist, come back into the center. Good. And then lean back a little bit, just lean back to release your hips. And then let's take both feet together this time. And I'm going to go back on my blanket just to give myself a little pelvic tilt. Good. So right back now, the legs are as open as they want. They're not, I'm not pushing anything at all. I'm just letting them be comfortably open. Good. So maybe hold on to your shins for a moment so that you don't have a tendency to just let them fall. So just hold on to your shins, keep them where they are. Sitting up nice and tall, and bring your sternum, your breastbone, to see the ceiling. So just pull forward as if you were doing a seated cat. Good. Hold on to your legs firmly, but your elbows can be gently bent. And then we're going to straighten the arms and head back in the other direction. So arching in the opposite direction, chin pulled into the chest, spine is rounding, and then coming back up, bend the elbows, let the arms do the work, and showing the sternum toward the ceiling. Your head can go back a little, but just keep it integrated. Don't let it just drop back. Okay, and then again, exhale the breath as you pull the belly to the spine, tuck your chin into your chest, get round. Notice how the body responds with the breath. The breath goes back behind the shoulder blades. And then on your next inhale, begin to bend the arms and come back up, lifting, getting on top of your sit bones. Good. And then let's take the knees and bring them together for just a moment. Just letting the knees gently touch and give them a little hug, just a little squeeze into the legs. Good. And then we're going to go for a minute onto all fours. And right here, we're going to repeat cat movement. But let's make sure that our wrists are right over our shoulders, under our shoulders. Okay. So often we'll put our hands under our shoulders. We really want to make sure it's the wrist, and the hands are totally in front of the shoulders. And our knees are just falling out of the hip socket comfortably. Good. Now press into the ball of the index finger for just a minute. Really letting your hands take their share, and then press into either the tops of the feet if they can be on the floor, or curl the toes under and press into the ball of the foot. So whichever gives you the most stability, you decide. Feet splayed out or feet curled under. And then gazing at the floor for a minute. So just listening to my voice. Good. On your next exhale, curl the body upward toward the ceiling, tuck the chin into the chest and get round. And stay and breathe. And then on our next inhale, we're going to begin to go the opposite direction, coming through neutral, letting the back of the head reach toward the tailbone and the tailbone toward the back of the head. Breathe. And then come back into neutral. So in neutral, you'll find your cervical spine. You'll find you have your lumbar spine curves. All the curves are there. Good. So now you're going to coordinate your personal breath with the movement. We're going to use the exhale to curve and arch the spine toward the ceiling. And the inhale, we're going to move in the opposite direction. So finding your breath and moving. If you'd like to add the feet, you can. You can lay the feet out on one of those and curl the toes under on the other. You pick which one you want to use. So just following your breath pattern, arching in each direction. Good. Take your time. Make sure that your hands are really splayed out so that you're not dumping weight into your wrists. Your fingertips are pressing into the mat. Good. And then just a couple more breaths before finding yourself in neutral. Good. And then once you're in neutral, reach back with your left foot. Just reach back for a moment with the left foot. Ball of the foot is where you're pressing. Press through the heel. Really feel your calf engage. And then let it go. And then reach back through the right foot. Ball of the foot. Press through the heel. Good. And then release it. Let it go. And then come back off of your hands for a moment, up onto your knees, and just make big circles with your wrist. Both directions. And then squeeze your fingers together and then starburst. Squeeze the fingers together and then starburst. A couple more. One more. Great. Okay, and now we're going back to our hands for just a moment. Again, wrist underneath your shoulders, but press into all 5 fingers. See if you can get an L between your index finger and your thumb. See if you can really open that space and then press into the ball of the index finger. Okay, good. So press back again, this time through the left again. Feel the calf engage and then release it through the right. And then release it. Good. So we're going to head up into mountain pose, which often called downward facing dog. So I'm going to lift my hips, but I want you to see how deeply I'm going to keep my knees bent. My toes are curling under. I'm keeping my knees bent. I want to put my rib cage really close to my thighs. So I'm looking for that long diagonal line, letting my spine be in traction. Your feet are in your Tadasana width, so not way far apart. My knees are staying bent. I'm finding that space. And then look forward and gently just come over and arch the spine up for a moment. I call this hill pose. And then back into mountain. So just really seeing how mountain pose, the spine is hanging in traction. And then arching the spine. And then coming back into mountain. And then one more time into hill pose. Probably enough on our wrist. Good, let's drop to our knees and sit back on our heels for just a moment. Good. So you can curl your toes under to keep tall, or you can lay your feet out, whichever feels best. Just staying tall for a moment. Good. And then let's take up for just a moment. Babaji calls this, when we're doing moon salute, he calls this half moon. So just, again, showing the sternum. Just showing the sternum. So I'm not thrusting my hips forward. My hips are totally in neutral, and I'm just showing my sternum. You can see as I come back, okay? So take our hips toward the heels, reach back with the arms, and then come up. Don't thrust your hips, just taking your sternum toward the ceiling. And one more time, hips toward the heels, reach back, just reaching back, and then coming up one more time. Nice long legs, feeling your legs really long from the psoas muscles. Good. And then just taking and resting our hands on our thighs for a moment. Excellent. Okay. Now we're going to just reach forward. We're going to lunge. We're going to take our right leg forward. So if you have your hands on the floor, you're welcome to just slowly get your right leg. Make sure your knee is over your ankle. So take the time to set yourself up for success. Knee is over the ankle. Right now, our back knee is down. Good. We're first going to just bring the hands to the right knee. Good. And then press off so you can see that there's a little bit of a back bend happening. Good. And then again, we're going to show the sternum. This is crescent moon. Good. Let's take our hands to the knee again and lean forward so we remove the back bend. Good. We're just lunging, remove the back bend. Right. And then hands float down and then step us. Coming back up again. Good. And now reaching the hands down and stepping the left foot forward. Take your time, get yourself set up so that you really have your knee and your ankle aligned. Good. And then initially, hands to the front knee. Stabilize yourself. Good. And then we're gently going to begin to raise the arms and showing the sternum. So you can see we have a thoracic back bend happening. And then gently bringing the arms down. Let's take them to the leg first. Good. And then to the floor and sweeping that leg. Okay. And then let's go up one more time to mountain. Just taking yourself up, letting the spine be in traction, finding that comfortable spot. Make sure you cannot see your heels, that they are hidden completely behind your foot. And then begin to gaze forward. And then you can decide from this hill pose, we're going to bring the leg forward. You're welcome to take the knee down. And for some of us, having that bigger space makes it easier to do the lunge. So right leg forward. Good. We are going to drop to the knee still and sweeping the arms up, passing through a neutral spine and then adding the thoracic back bend. And then floating the arms down and stepping back to that mountain first. So long spine hanging in traction. And then come forward, pull your belly in, come forward into hill pose. And now right leg. I'm sorry, left leg. Left leg. And then drop to the knee so that we can really focus on the back bend. And floating the arms down. Again, coming off the back knee, step to mountain, just letting the spine pour out in traction. And then pull it forward as you pull your belly in. Bring your shoulders closer to your wrist. Find that hill pose. And then knees to the floor, hips to heels, and sitting up nice and good. And then let's come up to our knees one more time. Great. So I'm going to face you for this next little part. Good. Nice and tall on our knees. I'm going to put a blanket under my knees. There's a carpet on this floor, but my knees say they would appreciate a blanket. Good. So initially curl your toes under. Just make sure your toes are curled under. And then really find that spot right here where we're doing the same thing. So it is resembling a camel pose, but we're not dropping back. We're not putting our hands on our feet or anything. We're just getting this thoracic curve. So finding that, you can keep your chin in towards your chest. Good. And then take the arms out to the side and come up. So you're going to lose the twist and then hips towards your heels. Bring the hands right down. And then let's come up, take the arms with us this time. We're going to pause in that neutral spot. And then we're going to do just a thoracic back bend. And then coming back down. Okay, one more time. Coming up. Shoulders are stable. Firmly on the back. A little back bend. And back into neutral. And this time just staying up. Okay, let's externally rotate the right leg. Good, look down and make sure you can't see your heel, but you can see a hint of your big toe neck. Good. And stay facing me, if you can, with your hips and pelvis, okay? And then your leg is externally rotated to wherever it's comfortable. And then arms out to the sides. Good, so reaching out to the sides. Good. And then just gently, with a tall spine, taking your chin out over your right shoulder. Gazing out over your right fingers. And then let's flip the palm toward the ceiling of the left hand, just flipping the palm toward the ceiling. And then bringing the arm over as if we were going to string a bow and pull it back, elbow reaching back. Let the arrow go. Open the arm. Flip the palm, reaching over. Elbow back, really pull back, all the way back. Release the bow. Release the arrow, sorry, come open. Last time, flip the palm, reaching over, elbow back, pull back on the bow, pull back, let the arrow back, 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 release the arrow, and then open the arm, flip the palm toward the floor, let your elbows and shoulders settle. Then release the arms and bring the head back into neutral. Good. So just notice how the leg feels with that external rotation. This is our warrior two leg. Okay, letting it go. And then let's externally rotate the left leg. Good. And keeping your hips in neutral. Make sure you can't see your heel, that it's right under the foot, the leg. Good. You have a little bit of your big toe though. Great. And then arms floating up. Let's open the palms initially. And then using just the forearms. Gazing out. Good. Taking your gaze out over your middle fingers. And then flip the palm of the right arm, right hand. Reach it up and over. Draw back on the bow. Release the arrow. And then open the hand and arm and elbow. Flip the palm. Reach all the way over. Draw back on the bow. Release the arrow. Move the arm back. Flip the palm. So it happens from the shoulder. Flip the palm all the way over. Pull back. Release the arrow all the way back with the arm. And flip the palm up. And then let's flip the palm over. Good. Just looking out for a moment. Lifting through your pelvic floor, lifting through your belly. Nice stable spine. Then let's flip both palms over. Bring our gaze back to the center. Arms up overhead. Reaching up. And then set the shoulders down. Lots of space. Bring the arms out in front. And then release them. Just notice your shoulders. And then unrotate the leg. Good. And then hips to heels for a moment, just sitting back. Good. So if hips to heels isn't comfortable for you, I don't have a block here, but if I had one, or if I had a big book, I'd put it right underneath my hips right now and between my ankles and my hips and sit on it so that it lifts my seat a little bit. So lay the block on your ankles and just sit on the block. Okay. Good. Nice tall spine. Great. And then let's roll back and come up for just a moment into ragdoll. Just letting your head go. Say no with your head, yes with your head. My knees are so deeply bent. And then I'm going to begin to lift the legs. I'm not going to lock them. I'm just lifting them as I lift the spine and then exhaling all the way up. So those of us who have a little bit of low blood pressure or variable blood pressure, exhaling up is always a safer bet. Gives us that pressure so that we won't get all dizzy. Okay. So being just up for a moment. Great. So initially just externally rotating your left leg. Just externally rotate the leg, plant it. Good. And then you can keep right here. You can bring the heel to above the ankle. You can bring the heel, the whole foot to the calf or the whole foot to the thigh, just not against the knee. So wherever you'd like to be, just not against the knee. Good. And then let's take the arms out to the side. First, let's bend the elbows and go to namaskar. Good. So those of us who have a foot on the floor may want to challenge ourselves with just occasionally closing the eyes briefly, and then reopening. Just that occasional little closing and reopening, just helping us find that inner stability. And then gently letting your arms and hands come up right in front of you. Just reaching the arms slowly, coming up. And once you get up, we're going to just starburst the arms open. When you get to neutral, relax your shoulders and come down. Good. And then release that leg. Good. Find your Tadasana. Get nice and soft. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then we're going to peel up the right leg and externally rotate it wherever it goes to. You're welcome to keep it there. Bring the heel in to above the ankle. Just not pressing a joint sideways. Here, here, wherever you want it. I'm going to stay on the floor. Good. And then let's take the arms out to the side, lift the palms up and hands into namaskar. Good. Right at the heart. And this is again where those of us who have our foot on the floor, we're going to occasionally just challenge ourselves with a little bit of closed eyes, just briefly for a second or two, and then reopen. Be careful. You can always touch the wall gently. Just keep one hand and finger on the wall. But it's really good for us to find ourselves in space. Go ahead. Excellent. And then we're going to slowly let the arms begin to rise. Press into the palms and letting the arms come up slowly. Nice and slowly. Pull the belly in. But pelvic floor is lifted. And then starburst the arms open into neutral. Getting our arms shoulder height. And then flip the palms, flip the arms, and release the arms. Good. And then release. Bring the legs back into neutral. Good. And then just a little bit of our chair pose, making sure that we're keeping our knees safe and our quads safe. So we don't want our knees to touch. So I usually do it like this for you. And now I will show you. I'm going to have an imaginary seat there, and I'm going to sit down. And just like I have a chair there, I'm going to sit in and then come up. Okay. But I'm going to do it from the front for a second so you can see I'm not going to have my knees go into each other. It's going to stay that same space as if I were in Tadasana. Okay. So let's try that together. Find your Tadasana. So tall spine. Good. Pelvic floor is lifted, belly's lifted, nice and tall. And then we're going to take our hips back as if they were an imaginary chair and our arms forward, just to counterbalance. Hamokanasana, even equally balanced, angled. Good. And then stand. Good. Let's take a seat 2 more times. Have a seat. Good. And stand. Legs not too far apart. So hip distance doesn't mean the outside of your hips. It means right underneath your as is. So not too far apart with those legs. Good. And have a seat. Good. So you've got that imaginary chair there. Just a couple more breaths. And then let's exhale and stand. Good. Quads speaking to you. That's good. We want him to have a little chat with us. Okay. So now we're going to head back down to the floor. I'm going to go through a squat. And you can decide if you'd like to go through a squat or if you just want to make your way to the floor. So I'm going to go briefly. My squat can be up on my feet, not down in my heels, but up on the ball of the foot. It can welcome to be there. And it can also be down on the heels, wherever you want to be. We're just getting closer to the floor. And it can also just be like a goddess squat, just almost down. And then we're going to just help ourselves and come down to the floor. Sukhasana, easy cross-legged pose. I'm again going to put my blanket under for a little extra pelvic tilt. Good. So initially, we're going to do right what we did at the beginning, which is a little slight twist. And just see how that twist feels to you now, after you've moved and opened a little. And then taking your head back and forth to your shoulders. Not too fast or get dizzy. Just noticing how our head action is not dependent upon our thoracic spine. And then release, come to neutral. Okay, and then lift as you inhale and twist to the other side. Keep the belly stable, and then letting your chin float out to either shoulder, nice and slowly. Good. And then let's release the twist on that side. Excellent. And then draw the legs up. I'm going to go from the side. I'm going to extend out my left leg, and my right leg is in. Good. So normally we twist toward the leg, but you don't have to twist toward the leg. You can also twist away from it. Like if a pregnant person can always twist away from the leg, someone with a big belly can twist away, right? So we're going to inhale and twist and exhale, return. So 3 times. Inhale, twist, exhale, return. Inhale, twist, exhale, return. Now this 4th time, we're going to inhale and twist, and then I'm going to take my right arm back behind me. So this is one flying buttress and this is another. So I've got both buttresses going. My spine is erect. Really flex the foot on the floor. And just lifting the spine as much as is comfortable. And then chin floating out over your right shoulder. And then arcing the chin up and floating it over your left shoulder. Good. And then gently release the twist. Little hula over to the other side. Just a little bit of movement to the other side. Good. And then back into the center. And then let's do the opposite. Good. This is my challenge hip. So I'm giving myself some pelvic tilt and flexing the right leg along the floor. Here's my flying buttress. So initially just 3 times to prepare our thoracic spine. So keeping our lumbar spine integrated. So we're not twisting from there. We're twisting from where we have ribs. Okay. So initially I'm just opening and closing. Close all the way. Open and close. Again, open and close. This time we're going to open and go ahead and raise up the left arm and place it behind you as a flying buttress, your front leg and your back arm, and then press into the foot and the arm and the hand and lift your spine. And then letting your chin float out over your left shoulder. And then arcing the chin up toward the ceiling and floating it over the right shoulder. Couple more breaths, really lift through the pelvic basket. And then on your next exhale, release the twist and a little hula over to the other side. Just a movement to the other side. Good. Okay. We're about to go down to the floor, and you have one pose before a brief shavasana. Okay. So what I want you to do is think about how you'd like to spin that pose. So often we take this time for an inversion. If you invert, so Viparit Karani Mudra, of course, if you're on your menstrual cycle or if you have glaucoma or any eye issues, you're not going to do that. You're just going to, if any of those issues, the best pose for you is what we often call legs up the wall. And I'm going to do legs up the cupboard, right? Just keeping my hips on the floor. This is fine for everyone to do, okay? If you'd like, you can do Viparit Karani Mudra all by itself, or if you have a block, place it underneath your sacrum and legs up. The other beautiful inversion is just bridge pose or bridge pose prep. So either bridge pose prep or a full bridge. So you take a few moments to do your next to the last pose. I love your choices, taking care of yourself. About 30 more seconds. And then slowly coming out of your inversion and finding your shavasana. So gently letting yourself find what Babaji says is the hardest pose of all, just allowing ourselves to completely relax. We're taking it easy. So finding that corpse pose. and just letting go. See if you can think of yourself as a starfish and not feel compressed by your mat. So your arms may fall off your mat, palms facing the ceiling. Good. I'm going to go very briefly to do the same. Breath here is uncontrolled, totally natural. Just allowing the universe to breathe you. Relaxing muscles to bones, body weight to gravity in the floor. Tongue is soft in the mouth and eyes are heavy in the sockets. Just letting go. Slowly and gently bringing awareness to our senses. So letting your eyes roll in the sockets in one direction and then the other. Letting your tongue roam the mouth, the back of the teeth, the roof of the mouth, swishing it along the front of the teeth, and then opening the mouth wide as if you were yawning. Snap, crackle, and pop to the ears, wriggle your nose, begin to swim the fingers, twinkle the toes. Just waking up all of our senses nice and slowly. And then maybe a nice big overhead stretch. And then bend your knees, place your feet firmly on the floor. Lift your hips off the floor for a moment, just kind of shake them out a little, and then place them back down. Let your hands rest gently on your belly. And for just a few moments, let's begin our pranayama here. Controlling the pran, controlling the breath. Let your belly inhale up, and gravity takes your belly down as the breath moves out of the lungs, out of the nose. Inhale, belly goes to the ceiling. And exhale, belly recedes to the floor. Lungs recoiling. Just a few more belly breaths. And then after your next exhale, inhale and just lift your hips up for a second and again, shake them out. Swish them away from me and my voice over to the side, set them down. Draw your knees into your chest and just roll over to the opposite side and curl up for a moment in embryo pose. Just curling up. And then using your upper arm, place the hand in front of you and begin to press the floor away. Spiral yourself up to a nice, comfortable seat. Again, just resting your hands on your belly for a moment, different gravity. We're just going to let ourselves do the belly breathing. So the belly expands on the inhale and returns on the exhale. So just a few belly breaths. Belly expanding, belly receding. Belly expanding, belly receding. So not a very deep, long breath. The minute it wants to go up into your chest, use your muscles and push it out. Good. And the next time you exhale and draw your belly towards your spine, leave it there. And then bring the breath into the chest region. Let the ribs expand, moving up, often called bucket handle breathing, and then the ribs release. So space in the intercostal muscles as you breathe into the rib cage. Belly stays stable. Exhale, breath moves out. Not a long breath. Keep your belly stable. This is the breath we use for asana. Because our belly stays stable, we're protecting the low back, and the chest is expanding. And then just 1 minute of combining these two breaths. Exhale, belly to spine. Inhale, release your belly, let it start there. And then bring that inhale into the chest. You'll find the belly recedes on its own. So 2-part inhale, and then a slow, smooth, gentle exhale. Inhale, belly, chest. Same inhale. All the way up. And then pause and one slow, smooth, gentle exhalation. Just one more full yogic breath. Letting ourselves slide into a brief 5-minute meditation. See if you can stay with the breath without controlling it. See if you can be an announcer, just saying what's happening in your own body. I'm inhaling, I'm exhaling, noticing the pause, not controlling it. Don't control it. Let the universe breathe you. Just say what's happening in your body, mind, complex. If you have an object of concentration you use for your meditation every day, you're welcome to use that. Otherwise, just staying with the breath, watching the breath. Stay with it. Bringing our meditation to a close. Just letting go. Notice what thoughts come into your mind. Bringing your hands into the heart. Anjali Mudra. Remembering your intention and again repeating it to yourself 3 times. And then thinking of anyone or anything that might need a little extra prayer this morning, a little offering. Just bringing them to mind, bringing it to mind. And any merit we may have earned this morning in our practice of yoga, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentient beings. So letting these thoughts drift symbolically from your mind down into your heart, from your heart right into the very palms of your hands, and then lift them up and just let go off into the universe, bringing the hands back into the heart. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste.